Not much gets under a teacher's skin quite like openly disrespect. It's something that is really, really frustrating. It can make us angry. It can make us say things and do things that not only will we regret, but will also make disrespect worse in our classroom. So in today's video, I'm going to teach you a strategy that is really, really effective. It really works no matter what your grade level or where you teach or anything like that. It works really, really well. It's also really easy. It's almost effortless as long as you know the steps. So I'm going to go through 6 steps that will fix disrespect in the moment, but also really eliminate it for the most part. It can always happen, but as much as possible, eliminate it from your classroom. Before we get there, though, do me a favor and subscribe to this channel if you haven't done so already. If you like this video, find it valuable, please give it a thumbs up and leave a comment below. Okay, the first step is that you must be ready. Must be ready. Because disrespect is something that really affects us emotionally. It's really hard to shut that off in the moment. And it's something probably more than anything else that really gets us moving toward that student, and it shows on our face how angry we are on the inside. But if you're ready for it, if you have a strategy that is effective in your back pocket, then you can remain calm and just follow the steps. And so you want to visualize the steps in your head and know that disrespect is going to happen at some point, and be ready for it. Be ready to implement this strategy. The second step is when it happens, you're going to wait. So you're going to stay right where you are, make sure that you never move forward, and you're going to wait. You're going to look at the student, make eye contact with the students calmly. You don't want to show any intimidation. You're not going to glare at the student. You're not going to show anger or any emotion whatsoever. You're just going to wait and allow the moment, allow the student's words to hang in the air. You want some awkwardness to come into the situation. If you feel some sort of awkwardness in the room, that's a good thing. That's what you want. You want that student to, and they will, as long as you remain calm, they'll immediately and in a small way begin reflecting on and questioning whether they overdid it. And you also want them to consider and to know that they broke a classroom rule, and they did, but you want them to feel it in the moment. And change in behavior happens when students want to change of their own accord. So this is going to begin that feeling, however small, of guilt and knowing that they did something wrong. And now the rest of your class may be watching also, so it's good for them to see this as well. There can be no question also about that this student behaved disrespectfully, and just by waiting, you're allowing this all to happen. So this is a really important step, and all that is you need to do is just to stand and wait calmly. Third step is you're going to move on. You're going to move on as if nothing happened. Okay, so continue with your lesson or whatever you were doing. If you were working with that student in a group or something, then move on to another group, but you're gonna walk away and you're just going to continue teaching. It's important your students see that you're continuing to teach as if nothing happened. Now, they'll all know something happened, and they'll know that you're going to fulfill your promise with time, your promise to enforce, which we're going to talk about in a second. But first, you want to wait some more. So you're going to move on, and then you're going to wait some more. How long sort of depends on, you can't mess it up, but you want to wait at least 15 minutes, and your teacherly sense will tell you when it's time to go on to step 5. Again, you can't mess it up, but you really want to make sure that the room is calm and that everyone has moved on and is doing their work, especially the student who was disrespectful. So you want to kind of keep an eye on that student, and when you see them working and moving on and maybe smiling with other students, then you know they've moved on, and then you can go on to the next step. Step 5, when you are going to enforce a consequence. You're going to enforce a consequence. Now, this is based on you having a classroom management plan that includes a rule that protects your classroom from disrespect. If you don't have that, we have classroom management plans available at smartclassroommanagement.com. We have one for elementary, lower middle, and from upper middle through high school. So there's an elementary plan and there's a high school plan. So please check that out. The other thing that's really important is that classroom management plan must be something that is taught very detailed and modeled so there are no gray areas. In other words, when that student was disrespectful, there can't be any question that they were disrespectful. That student needs to know it, and everyone in the class needs to know it. And so if you teach that in such a way, using examples and modeling and having students modeling, etc., so you're really clear about what disrespect looks like and what it is, then before you even enforce, that student will be, again, reflecting on that misbehavior. They know you're coming. So as part of teaching your plan, you're promising that you're going to protect their right to learn and enjoy being in your classroom without interference, without being made fun of or bullying or disrespect. Disrespect towards you or disrespect toward anyone in the class. You're going to teach all the whys and why you're doing that as well, and how it's best for them and best for learning in the classroom. When you approach, you're just going to, and this is how we recommend giving all consequences, is you're just going to tell them what the consequence is. So whether it's a timeout or whatever it is, you simply let the student know, and then you turn and walk away. And that student, because you've modeled it, they know what they need to do. They know what that means. Now, this sometimes begs the question, well, what happens if they just sit there and don't do anything? This is a topic we've covered extensively at smartclassroommanagement.com through articles. It's also something that's on the list for a future video, but just know we have a strategy to deal with that also. But a big part of it is that you teach ahead of time so they know it's coming. So you enforce a consequence after waiting some time, and then you just move on. The purpose of this, of not like pulling that student aside and telling them what they did wrong and all this sort of thing, is again, we want them to do it of their own, because that's when disrespect leaves your classroom. That's when that student really changes. When there's no friction between you and they know that they made a mistake, that they did something wrong. This causes them to reflect and not be angry with you. And if just from these 5, you'll get lots and lots of apologies. I've had so many students come up and shake my hand and thank me for handling things this way, all the way up through high school. Okay, number 6, whenever a student is disrespectful, parents have a right to know. Parents, guardians, whoever, they have a right to know. And not because the reason isn't because we want parents to do anything per se. The consequence isn't that we require, at Smart Classroom Management, we love parent support, but we don't need it. It doesn't affect our ability to manage the classroom. We let parents know because they have a right to know. And if a student is disrespectful, a parent has a right to know. If a student misbehaves 3 times in one day, a parent has a right to know, and we just give them the facts. Now, there are different ways to contact parents, which we can discuss in a future video, but whether it's a phone call or messaging system or email, we give the facts, let the parent know. The parent knows what it means because you've also taught your plan to them. They also have a copy of your plan, so there are no surprises. And the reason why we do it beyond just because they have a right is because it shows we are following through. There's no magic in the consequences themselves. The magic is in the enforcement. The magic is in following through and letting students know that you're a leader who can be trusted. And when you behave like a leader and you don't overreact because you remind yourself you're the adult and leader, you're not a fellow student, and you respond this way, really amazing things happen. So this is it. These are the steps. You're going to be ready. You're going to wait, move on, wait again, enforce, contact, and that's it. You won't have any extra conversations with that student or your class at all. You're just going to let this bake. Let it do its good work. And I know it's simple and it's effortless, and it should be. That's what we're trying to do here at Smart Classroom Management. All of our strategies are not only best for students long term, but they're also best for you and take stress off of your shoulders. Okay? I hope you like this. I hope this helps. Hope you're having a great week. I'll see you next time.